What's up? What's up? It's me, Shon-Jhon, your middleman CEO. Welcome to the channel. And for those of you who are loyal to the channel and check out all the content, leave those well-constructed comments and questions, welcome back. I appreciate it. Please let somebody else know about the channel. This channel is designed to change your life, teach you about money and finances, but also to change your perspective and hopefully to convince you that there are other ways that you can make money, not just having a 9 to 5. So if you've seen my videos, you know they can be pretty controversial. And I've been called that. I've been called radical because of my ideas about home ownership. But someone mentioned one time, they were like, you're similar to what, Grant Cardone is saying. And I'm a fan of Grant Cardone because I'm from South Louisiana. I'm not a fan of everything he says. You're about to find out, but you're about to find that out right now. But there are two major opinions that's floating around when it comes to home ownership. Number one, home ownership in America has become oppressive, has become stressful. People feel like they are obligated to own homes. And I submit to you the idea that you're not. Sure, owning a home is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with it. But it doesn't have to be like your primary goal in life. Financial freedom should be the first thing you're thinking about. Home ownership initially wasn't even a part of the American dream. The American dream was to be able to come chase your dream, make enough money to buy a home. Not necessarily to buy a home, but to make a good living. Now it's about buying homes and buying houses and things like that. And I like houses too. There's nothing wrong with it. But let's break down three powerful perspectives, right? And mine's going to be the third. And then you get to form your opinion on whether you agree with me, whether you agree with Grant Cardone, or whether you guys agree with Dave Ramsey. Again, I'm okay with these people. I have nothing against them. But someone mentioned that we have the same ideas when it comes to home ownership, and we actually do not. And here's why. Number one, Dave Ramsey, who just tell you to be cheap while he lives his best life, he caters to his market. He's Walmart. He caters to the cheap people, the people that are poor money managers, and the people that got all this debt, and the advice he gives to them, helps them, but the rich don't use it. So go figure. But all right, so let's start there. So Dave Ramsey says, to buy a house, because buying a house would make you wealthy, would make you rich. And so Dave is giving you washed away, not wiped away. You could wipe it away, but washed out. He's giving you washed out advice. This advice of buying a home was how the baby boomers, which Dave probably is, this is how the baby boomers grew up, believing that if you buy a house, the house was going to go up in value. And that's where the millionaire next door came about. And that was fine back then for baby boomers, it was. But today, it does not apply. And I keep saying this. In 2020, the rules changed. The whole entire money landscape changed. Everything changed. So your house, if you buy a house today, it's not going to appreciate. No, it's going to depreciate. Yes, people can't even sell their houses. They're dropping prices. I'm telling you, housing prices are going down. Not dramatically, not enough, in my opinion, but they are going down. So he says that you should buy a house, hold on to a house. I say that's financial prison, because if you buy a house, most people are going to buy with a paycheck from their job. So the mortgage is 30 years, or the death pledge. That's what it really means. But nobody would buy a death pledge, so they call it mortgages. So the mortgage would last for 30 years. The only way you know how to pay it is with a paycheck from a job, by selling your time or selling your life, however you want to look at it, 1 hour at a time. And so you have to get this paycheck, keep this paycheck for 30 years. That's financial prison for 30 years. You've sentenced yourself to financial prison for 30 years just because you wanted to own a home, because you know no other way to pay for the house except the job. So you have to have a job for 30 years, right? And houses are not going to appreciate. So to me, I think that's very, very bad advice. In fact, I think it's F minus advice, because houses are not going up in value and you're tied to a job for 30 years. That's terrible advice. Again, right? Bad advice. Number two, let's look at Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone says don't own a home at all. Now, I understand why he's saying that. His interests are in getting people into apartments. And he's got a big audience, so he can't afford to say buy a home. But let's just forget all that and say, stick with his idea of don't buy a house. Okay, cool. Don't buy a house. And so if you don't buy a house, he's saying rent everything. You're mobile. You're able to move around. I love that, because that's a fact. You're able to move around. You're not tied down. You don't have to wait to sell the houses. I've seen houses on the market for months and no one's living in it. Somebody's paying for 2 homes somewhere, right? And I've seen this. So he's right about that. It's good to move around, but he and I are going to disagree on the idea that you should never buy a house. So I would give his advice a C plus, anywhere from a B minus to a C plus, because it is a good idea to be able to move around, to be mobile. It is a good idea to not have a 30-year mortgage. It is a good idea to be able to rent the things you want to use, give them back, and then get whatever else you need. To me, those are not bad ideas. But we're going to disagree, because I think it's okay to own a home. He says no, not at all, and I think it's okay. And so now you're going to get my opinion on home ownership. So you get to compare Dave Ramsey, Grant Cardone, and Shon-Jhon on home ownership advice. And these are big dogs. These guys are multi-millionaires, if not billionaires. And, financially, I'm not in their league, but hey, you don't have to be rich to give what I think is good advice, or at least give your opinion and allow the people to make their own decision. By the way, if you want to learn how to start a middleman business, work from your phone, from home, from your couch, however you want to do it. Sometimes I don't leave the house. You don't do any of the hard work. You simply use your phone to book customers, take a deposit, and then dispatch the work to ISPs or service contractors in that area. ISP is an independent service professional. So for instance, I book customers for moving companies here in Dallas. I don't do any of the moving. I have no trucks, no crews, no anything. I simply find a customer, book the customer, take a deposit that goes into my account, and then I dispatch the work to other movers in the area. I have students who do it in cleaning, heating and AC, pressure washing, graphic design, t-shirt design, home cleaning, roofing, so many other industries. So if you want to learn how to do it and pick an industry to get into and make money, put middleman in the comments below. I'm going to be doing a live free training, and that training is going to be tonight for about 1 hour, and I'll teach you how to use your phone to make money. So last but not least, my opinion versus Grant Cardone versus Dave Ramsey, and then hear Shon-Jhon's opinion. Now, Dave Ramsey says buy a house, it's a good thing. I say that's not true. Grant Cardone says don't buy houses, rent everything. I say I like the advice, but still not true. By the way, Dave is giving the worst advice. So here's what I say. I say there's nothing wrong with buying a home. The only thing you have to think about is how are you going to pay for the home. So if you buy a house with a paycheck, you have to have a paycheck, right? But so I say, if you're going to buy a house, there's nothing wrong with buying a house. Just don't buy a house with a paycheck. I say use your money, your resources to create a business. Let the business grow. That's an asset. Let the asset produce something called cash flow. If the cash flow is enough to pay your home mortgage, then buy your house. So if you start a middleman business and it makes $3,000 a month, that's it. And that's pretty low, but just an example. And your house mortgage is $3,000 a month, congratulations, you don't need a job to pay for your house. Your business can pay for it. So I don't tell you don't buy a house. I say don't buy a house with a paycheck. I say use cash flow from an asset. First is before you buy the house, create or acquire an asset. Let the asset grow, make money, then use the cash flow to buy the house. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. Let me know your opinion. See you guys in the next video and the live training piece.